Hey, I'm Caleb from Caleb's Aviation. Welcome back to the channel and to another installment of aviation news. There's a lot of topics to cover today, so without further ado, let's get right to it. First up, there's been a terrifying incident involving a United Boeing 767 striking a light pole while coming in to land at Newark Airport, as you can see in the footage here. Yeah, so apparently the 767 struck a light pole while coming in to land over Interstate 95. How the aircraft got low enough to hit the pole in the first place is a mystery, and this incident is currently under investigation. Luckily, no one was seriously hurt. Also make sure to check out my video flying on the 747 into Newark Airport. Moving right along, AirAsia have placed an order for the Airbus A220, ordering more than 150 of the jets worth more than $19 billion US. For those who are not familiar, AirAsia is an all Airbus A320 and A330 low-cost carrier based in Malaysia. AirAsia do not have the greatest reputation, so ordering the Airbus A220 could be seen as a win for passengers and the traveling public. However, they already fly the Airbus A320neo, which the A220 competes with, so this is a bit of a surprise. However, the A220 is widely loved by passengers and crews around the world, and perhaps the A220 will help AirAsia shake their less than stellar reputation. Next up, a story I'm sure you're all familiar with by now. Spirit Airlines have completely shut down, and we've unfortunately lost another airline to the history books. After years of financial struggles, Spirit finally ran out of financial runway and succumbed to bankruptcy. Spirit, the ultra-low-cost carrier, did help make flying more affordable, despite their vast hatred. Also, now all the aircraft have been sent to scrapyards across the country, for an unknown fate. Finally, make sure to check out my video flying on Spirit for the first and only time, linked up above. Moving on, there's been an incident by a Frontier Airlines aircraft colliding with a man on the runway while departing Denver Airport. This was a terrifying incident, as a man apparently broke through the airport fence and ran across an active taxiway. He collided with the A321 at roughly 160 knots, or 184 miles per hour, and was tragically killed by the aircraft. The aircraft also sustained minor damage, and luckily no passengers or crew members were injured in this incident. The aircraft is also expected to return to service in the coming weeks. Next up, Panamanian flag carrier COPA Airlines have placed an order for 40 737 MAX aircraft, with 20 options. COPA Airlines is the national airline of the nation of Panama, flying an all Boeing 737 fleet, consisting of 737NGs and 737 MAX aircraft. Being an all Boeing 737 operator, ordering the MAX is a natural succession, not to mention they already fly some 737 MAXs, as mentioned earlier. COPA Airlines' continued growth and expansion is not only exciting for the airline, touting new cabins in economy and business class, and growing their route network, but it's also exciting for the nation of Panama, as it is a consistent sign of more visitors to the area, helping the local economy following the pandemic, which they've still been recovering from over the past few years. Next up, some unusual news. The United States Congress have passed the Maverick Act, preserving 3 F-14 Tomcat aircraft and allowing them to fly again. This is very unusual news, given the F-14 has been retired by the United States for more than 20 years, and most other countries as well. It was also the aircraft featured in the Top Gun movie, by the way. Expect a full video about this when we know more, or once the project is actually successfully completed. Next up, Dallas-Fort Worth Airport have opened a brand new airport rescue and firefighting station. This comes with the airport's continued growth and expansion, given that their old fire station was too small and far away from the airport expansion, as there are specific rules on how close they need to be in emergency situations for safety and regulatory compliance. This comes recently after neighboring Dallas Love Airport has done the same thing, opening a new ARFF station following expansion. Next up, there's been another tragic accident by a Medevac aircraft, this incident killing 4 in New Mexico. This comes with an uptick in accidents by Medevac aircraft, and it's an unusual trend. there's no idea why there have been an increasing number of Medevac plane crashes, and this is a very bad thing, given the vital role Medevac aircraft play, transporting patients to the nearest hospitals in critical condition. This accident also sparked a small brush fire, which merged into a little bit of a larger forest fire. This accident seems very similar to an ominous earlier incident in Philadelphia back in January 2024, but I'm not here to speculate about that. And of course, that was also a tragedy, losing many lives in a similar accident. Moving to perhaps happier news, JetBlue have begun expanding their operations out of Fort Lauderdale Airport following the collapse of Spirit Airlines, as we talked about a couple minutes ago. JetBlue have flown to Fort Lauderdale for many years, but are adding 27 daily departures to 11 more cities following the Spirit Airlines collapse. As you can see, Spirit served a lot of cities from Fort Lauderdale. This is a map of their routes out of the airport prior to their collapse. Next up, Delta's unusual 44 first-class seat configured A321neo, boy that's a mouthful, has actually been unveiled now. For those who don't know, the A321neo has Delta's brand new first-class interiors, which they released with this new aircraft, set to replace some older A321s. However, newer A321neo aircraft like this have 44 first-class seats. This is temporary until the airline can certify lie-flat seats on this narrow-body aircraft, similar to the existing Delta One suites, and it'll be interesting to see what happens here. Next up, there's been a runway excursion by a Croatian Airlines A220, following an aborted takeoff attempt. As you can see in the video here, the aircraft is going for takeoff when it slows down, following an aborted takeoff. The aircraft then slides off the runway and goes through the grass. Luckily, no one was injured in what looks like a very dramatic accident. However, the aircraft did sustain some superficial damage, which will need repair prior to its return to service. Next up, an Air France flight from Paris to Detroit has diverted to Canada following an outbreak of the Ebola virus. For those unfamiliar, Ebola is a potentially fatal virus which is currently sweeping its way through Central Africa. Apparently, a passenger from the Democratic Republic of the Congo, one of the countries hardest hit by the Ebola crisis, boarded a flight to Paris and was then connecting to Detroit. To prevent the virus from spreading and becoming a bigger problem, US authorities denied the aircraft landing in Detroit, and it diverted to Montreal in Canada. Luckily, this seems to be a minor and isolated incident, as no one aboard the plane reported any symptoms at the time of this video. Finally, there's been a ruling on Air France Flight 447, 17 years after the crash. Essentially, it's a very long and complicated story, but a French court has now deemed that Airbus and Air France are criminally liable for the death of everyone on board the flight. However, I'll make a full video about this because there's a lot of detail to discuss coming soon. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, please make sure to subscribe to my channel, ring that notification bell, leave a like, and a comment. But until next time, I'll be wishing you blue skies and tailwinds.